All right, the Florida Orchestra season finale concert is coming up at the end of May, and here with a preview is violinist and concertmaster Jeff Moulter. Good morning, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Is this a little bittersweet when the season comes to an end?
Well, yes, but it's also the beginning of summer vacation.
Yes,
so,
I know. And he seriously takes off. You're going to be playing festivals, and it's been so much fun chatting with you before we got started here. But tell us about kind of the season finale and what you guys are doing once again, and why this is such a big piece that people are going to love over and over.
Well, it's a great concert. Two big Russian works. So I'm playing the Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto, which is probably the most famous, piece of Tchaikovsky. Amazing violin concerto, virtuoso, beautiful melodies, all that. And then the second half will be the Shostakovich Fifth Symphony, which is an unbelievable way to bring the season to an end, a heroic piece of music.
So you've obviously played this quite a few times. I mean, does it ever get old? Does it ever, lose its, punch? I mean, it's such great music that I'm imagining the answer is no.
No, it just gets better. Yeah, it gets, the older you get, the more wonderful it gets. Every year that you live, you have another layer to add to it the next time you come back to it.
Give us a little history behind this piece too, if you can. I know we were saying there needs to be a movie on it, I think, but it's interesting to give us that perspective.
It's kind of an amazing story, and maybe a movie will get made someday. But what happened was he had a terrible marriage that was a failure, and he kind of ran away to a Swiss town called Clarens, which was a resort town at the time. And he wrote it in the spring. A student of his, a wonderful violinist, came and helped him with it. And this is someone that actually he was having an affair with. So it was sort of like a cleansing experience for him in terms of just breaking free of something terrible. And the concerto actually for him was very easy to write. Great composers struggle with their music. It takes them forever, to write a great piece, and it can be really hard. For him, this went very quickly, 2 months, and it was done. And it's one of his greatest work.
What is the average time that you think some of these masterpieces are actually? Does it take
great
years?
They mess with it forever. Beethoven never left it alone. He was always revising,
tinkering.
Constantly. So it's kind of an amazing story behind the piece, and the piece is just so beautiful. It's so wonderful. If
someone hasn't experienced the orchestra yet, do you think this is a good piece to come and see and to?
Oh yeah. It's a great first concert. It's a great way to kind of experience the whole scope of what we do.
So talk a little bit before you're going to play a sample for us this morning, but I want people to get to know you a little bit if we can. We have a little less than a minute left, but you've had this remarkable career, traveled around the world. You're actually, so this summer we'll then go play different festivals and concerts.
Yes, I get to play all over the country this summer. It'll be really fun. I look forward to that. And I love being here during the season. I'm here from September to May or September to June with the orchestra.
How long have you been playing?
I've been playing since I was 5, so way before you were born.
What do you encourage? Because it's funny, I was talking, I have young ones too, but how do we get our kids, to get excited about music and start at an early age? What's your advice?
Well, have music going all the time in the house. If you can, have them play piano or violin. I started when I was 5. Did
you start with the violin, or did you start piano?
Well, I started with piano. My dad's a pianist, so I started with piano. But then a Suzuki program came to town, and that's a great way for kids to get started. And I started on violin and Suzuki when I was 5. So.
All right, well, we're going to hear why so many people love this man. Thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you for having me.
There are the details again for several performances that are going to be going on the 24th through the 26th. And we really appreciate your time this morning, and I can't wait to hear you perform now.
Thank you.